Released in 1958, Summertime Blues became one of the defining teenage rebellion songs of the early rock and roll era. But behind that catchy beat and sarcastic humor was a song that perfectly captured the frustrations of American youth in the 1950s. Tonight, we dive deep into Eddie Cochran's Summertime Blues. Hey folks, welcome to another deep dive video. Today, we're looking into Eddie Cochran's smash hit from 1958, Summertime Blues. Before we get started, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications of upcoming shows. Hey Johnny and Danny, you ready for another deep dive?
Crispy, I am really excited about this one. Eddie Cochran is my idol, the original Johnny D.
Nice.
Do you want to see your idol, the original Senior Spinner?
Danny, you ready to go?
Danny the Diver.
Yeah, Danny the Diver.
Summertime Blues was released in July of 1958 by Eddie Cochran, one of rock and roll's fastest rising young stars. The song quickly became a major hit, climbing into the top 10 and helping cement Cochran as one of the most influential figures of early rock music. And even decades later, the song still sounds fresh because every generation understands the basic message. I want to have fun, but the grown-ups keep ruining everything.
Yeah, you hearing that, Crispy?
It's not like you're a kid, Johnny.
Eddie Cochran was more than just another 1950s rock singer. He was one of the first true rock multi-talents. Cochran played guitar, experimented with recording techniques, wrote songs, and helped shape the sound of modern rock guitar years before bands like Led Zeppelin or Van Halen existed. Many music historians consider him one of the founding architects of hard-driving rock guitar. And remember, he accomplished all this before the age of 22. Summertime Blues was co-written by Eddie Cochran and songwriter Jerry Capehart. The idea was simple but brilliant: capture the teenage experience of summer disappointment. You're out of school, but instead of freedom, you get a dead-end summer job, strict parents, no money, adults who refuse to listen. That theme struck a nerve with teenagers across America. One of the most innovative parts of the song was the fake telephone voice effect. When Eddie sings,
"I'd like to help you, son, but you're too young to vote,"
you notice the voice suddenly changes tone.
Delivered to perfection by the true rebel.
In 1958, that studio trick sounded incredibly modern. It became one of the earliest examples of creative audio production techniques in rock music. At its core, Summertime Blues is about teenage powerlessness. The kid in the song feels trapped between childhood and adulthood. He works like an adult, but gets treated like a child. That frustration became one of the central themes of rock and roll itself. In many ways, songs like Summertime Blues helped create youth culture as we know it today.
Back then, the biggest teenage injustice was being too young to vote. Today, people under 30 aren't even sure where their polling place is.
To understand why the song connected so deeply, you have to understand America in the late 1950s. The economy was booming. Cars, diners, jukeboxes, and drive-ins were becoming symbols of teenage freedom. But older generations were increasingly nervous about rock and roll. Adults worried. The music was rebellious. Teenagers were becoming uncontrollable. And traditional values were slipping away. So when Eddie Cochran sarcastically complained about authority figures, teenagers absolutely loved it. Sadly, Eddie Cochran's life was cut tragically short. In 1960, while touring in England, Cochran was killed in a car accident at only 21 years old. The crash also injured fellow rock pioneer Gene Vincent. Eddie's death shocked the rock world. Many believe he could have become one of the biggest rock stars of the 1960s had he lived. Even though Cochran's career was brief, Summertime Blues became a permanent rock and roll standard. The song was added to the Library of Congress National Recording Registry for its cultural importance. It was later covered by The Who, whose live version became famous for its explosive drumming by Keith Moon, Blue Cheer, Alan Jackson, and dozens of other artists. Each version reflected its own generation's frustrations. That's why the song never disappeared.
So the song Summertime Blues was more than just a hit song.
It sure was. It was one of the earliest rock and roll anthems to truly speak for teenagers. And nearly 70 years later, every generation still understands exactly what Eddie Cochran was singing about.
Nicely done, Danny. Johnny, any parting wisecracks?
Out of respect for my idol, I will maintain silence. And out of respect for your idol, you should grab some jumper cables and hang out in an electrical storm.
My name's Crispy, the Senior Spinner. Again, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for future notifications. We'll see you at the next show, and keep spinning.